Hello Yellow class, welcome to week 3 of our home learning. As you probably know, today is Monday, May the 4th, which is National Star Wars Day. So in true Star Wars style, May the 4th be with you. And we will carry on with our learning for today. Now we're going to start with our phonics, and today we are looking at the letter J, which makes the J sound. And in your pack you have got some words so that you can play bingo with that letter J. With the J sound, you have got some pairs that you can match up so that you are matching those words together. So that's our phonics for today. We won't do any writing today, we will do some writing tomorrow, and we will do a mixture of the two words which you'll be looking at over the 2 days. Right, our guided reading, the book that we are thinking about this week is called Catch That Rat by Carol Hart, and our word of the week is the word straight. Okay, so in your pack you should have a word of the week activity. You've got in the top corner to practice writing that letter S. You can practice writing the word straight. You can also think about looking at the word straight and what suffixes you can add on the end. So our root word is the word straight. We might write straighten, so we are adding en on the end as a suffix. So we've got straighten. We can also add another suffix on the end, so we can have straightens. You could even add ed instead of the s, so that you had straightened. I straightened my hair. You can add straight with another word so that you are making a compound word, because you can have a word like straight away. So with straight away, you have got 2 compound words added together. You can add the suffix and the est suffix. So you can have straighter. So you're adding that er on the end. Okay, so today we're thinking about our word of the week, which is the word straight. Have a go at doing these activities. On the website there is a picture of our word of the week display, and if you go there you can have a look and it will give you some ideas and it will help explain to you the meaning of the word straight, and also there are some images and some other things, so that's on the website for you to use. Right, and there is also a video link to Catch That Rat by Carol Hart, so that you can listen to that story ready for tomorrow. We're going to start off our maths today counting in 5s. Are you ready to count in 5s? We're counting up today, so not counting back. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Then we have got some times on the clock to look at, so we're just going to go down here and have a look at these times. I'm going to give you about a minute just to have a look at those times, and then we will talk through what each of the times is telling us. If you want to have longer than that to look at the times, you can pause the video and then come back to it in a minute. So let's have a quick read of these times. So if we look at this clock here, this long hand, the minute hand, is pointing to the 4. And if we remember, each of these is 5 minutes. 5, 10, 15, 20. And it's on this side of the clock. So these are past times. So it's 20 past. And if we look, it's 20 past 8. On our second clock here, 5, 10, so it's 10 past 9. So that hour hand is just slightly past the 9, which means it's 10 past 9. On our clock here, now we can see our half past is here down the bottom. Once we go past our half past, these times here are the 2 times. So if we look here, we have to count back I tend to count back from the 12 to work these out because these are 5 minutes. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So this is telling us it's 25 to. Now we have to look carefully here. It's not 25 to 2 because the hour hand has come past that. It's 25 to 3. So let's have a look down here. Again, it's on this side, which means it's a 2 time. It's minutes to the hour. So this is 5 to. And if we have a look, the hour hands come past the 3. It's 5 to 4. And then this time over here, we notice that our minute hand is pointing to that 3. And this is one of our special times. This is 12:15. So it's pointing a quarter of the way around the clock. It's 12:15. Right, so today we are going to be thinking about multiplication. Now multiplication is shown by this symbol here. This means multiply. It means times. It means lots of. Okay, so when we are multiplying, we are looking at how many lots of something we have got, which is very similar or the same as repeated addition, but instead of using the addition symbol and writing out a really long calculation, we use this symbol here to show lots of. Okay, now in your pack you have got some numbers, and I've actually gone up to number 15 today. What I'd like you to do today is to revise your 2, 5 and 10 times tables. So if you cut these numbers up, if you turn one over, and then you can pick one of your multiplication sums to work out. Okay, and I've got my Numicon here. I know you probably haven't got necessarily Numicon at home, but just to remind you of that visual lots of. So if I was doing 4 times 5, that means 4 lots of 5 equals, so I would get myself 4 of these. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. Each of these is the number 5, and I can count it up in 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. So my answer here is 20. If I needed to draw, because I haven't got Numicon or anything at home, what I might be doing is I might draw 4 circles out. So here are my 4, and in each of my circles I need to draw 5 images. Now when we're working in maths, we don't have to make them look too fancy, but we need to make sure we've got the right number. And again, I can count those up in 5s. Okay, you might draw yourself an array. An array is a special mathematical grid that shows you a calculation. So in each of my rows, I have got 5. So I've got 5 columns coming down, and I need 4 rows. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, and in each of those there are 5, and again I can count that up in 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20. You might be able to work these out in your head, because I know that you do know some of these calculations. You might be able to count up in your head. You might just put 4 fingers up and go 5, 10, 15, 20. So make sure you're working them out. Now if you think you're doing really well with the 2, 5s and 10s and you want a little bit more of a challenge, usually when you move on to your year 3 classes, they tend to then start with the 3 and the 4 times table. So if you want today, you might be able to have a chance to look at those, but get a feel of how confident you are with the 2, 5s and 10s. If you think you're really confident, you might want to maybe look at the 3s. Maybe don't look at both of them because you might confuse yourselves, but just have a think about what you've got, how well you can do these, and whether you're ready to move on. Right, our literacy session today, on Yellow Munns, I will put a link onto the website. There is a copy of the story, The Lighthouse Keeper's Lunch, by Rhonda and David Armitage, and today we're going to be thinking about the main character, who is the lighthouse keeper, and his name is Mr. Grinling. And I want you to do some writing today explaining what Mr. Grinling is like. and we will need some of those conjunctions today. So you'll be using that conjunction because, and everybody should be able to do that. Mr. Grinling is sad because the seagulls ate his lunch. We then got that conjunction when, a little bit more tricky to use when. Mr. Grinling is cross when the seagulls eat his lunch. Let me just check which other conjunctions. Also, Mr. Grinling is fed up, so Mrs. Grinling comes up with a plan. But, so, let me think, that's a little bit more tricky, that one. Mr. Grinling is sad, but Mrs. Grinling helps him out. Mr. Grinling, now which is a tricky one, isn't it? Let me think about that one. Mr. Grinling looks after the lighthouse, which helps keep people in their boats safe. So have a go at using those conjunctions today to write some sentences about Mr. Grinling. That's the end of the part 1 for the videos. We're just going to film part 2 because there's quite a bit to talk about for the geography. So we're just going to stop there and I'll see you in a moment.